Good morning. Happy that you could join us. As we look at the attendee list, we're seeing that there's a few people who we've already visited with. It's good to see you're coming back for some additional training. One of the things that we want to accomplish today is we want to get you completely familiar with the NORFI system, what we offer, the various applications, some of the markets, and look at some of the actual product itself visually. Basically, what we're offering are three distinct rails, actually applied as a solution for different applications. The first one is the smallest rail, and we're calling that the Techno rail, and that is mainly focused at car dealerships. You can also use it in other areas for like small engines, motorcycle shops, lawnmowers, smaller agricultural equipment. The Techno rail would lend itself very well to that particular area. The next one that you see is the ALU 150, and that one also is used in automotive dealerships, but for some larger volume engines, and especially if they're working on light-duty pickup trucks. You'll also find this to be very prevalent in automotive manufacturing. This is used with the NORFI system, both the no contact and the standard manual on the production lines. If you visited some of the plants in the United States, you'll probably see this product in use. The one on the bottom is what we call ALU 250. The 250 is an extension of the 150, and what we've been using that for are applications. You can use them for agricultural, construction, class 6, 7, and 8 over the highway vehicles, stationary gensets, some of the major equipment with higher output engines, both high temperature and high CFM. One of the nice things about this, we can actually expand it up to 16 inches in diameter. And that makes it kind of nice because we have applied this product to a little niche market, which is the locomotive maintenance area. So if you've got locomotives maintenance being done in your area, this is a good application, and you're going to see a couple photos of the capability and the ability that we have in order to have a solution for that marketplace. Again, this happens to be the Techno rail, where we have designed a monoxide vent system to go on the NORFI rail for hose reels. We can do a straight drop, we can choose a standard drop, and then we also have the ability to put a fume arm on here. And with the rail, it gives you the flexibility of extending out in your workshop or your manufacturing plant, where you can utilize the arm just like you would a reel or a drop, covering a bigger area with fewer drops. We're going to show you our full complement of nozzles. What you see on the left is our nozzles that are standstill, and then you're going to have the nozzles that connect directly to the tailpipe. This is just a shot of ALU 150 and also of Techno rail on the left side, just with a simple hose drop. Here's the fume arms attached to ALU 250 and to Techno rail. And another shot of hose rail, which you're able to not only put it on the Techno rail, would put you in a position to compete with the Eurovents, and the Harveys, and the Ascent company, which is what we would run up against with this newer product line for monoxide vent. And then we also can put hose reels on either the larger rail, the 150 or the 250. Here's a shot, and what you're going to see in the next few pages is actually a catalog that we have put together recently. It is available, and you'll be able to get it either on the extranet, or you can call in and we can send one down for you. So this is the Technorail. It is shipped in 5-meter lengths, which will make it around 16 feet. And it attaches with a standard unit on the top, a mounting bracket that also will fit all 3 rolls. 3 are all hung in the same way. And by the way, with the item number, you'll notice in these kits include everything that you need except the trolley to hang the rail from any type of superstructure. This is the ALU 150, and as I said, this is used in automotive, car manufacturing, and some larger facilities that use trucks that will do light-duty trucks, and even some heavy-duty truck you can handle with this particular rail. And again, the 250, and the 250, as I said, has a much greater capacity. We can get up to pretty close to 10,000 CFM in this without much of an issue. We can make it larger, and this is mainly utilized in very heavy-duty applications. Here's a full array of trolleys. One of the unique things about the Monoxavent NORFI trolleys, as you see from top to bottom, the first one has a butterfly valve or a damper built into it. You can do 2 things. You can use a wire with a ring to pull down and open it and close it. You can attach it to a balancer, or you can attach it to a nozzle. And that way, when you activate the system to extract, you will open the damper. When you stop using it, you'll close the damper. The next one is strictly to be used with a balancer. There's a bracket that the balancer mounts to, and this makes the mechanical damper basically automatic. And then the last trolley is the standard trolley, and that one is just utilized with a straight hose drop. Now on the Technorail, these particular trolleys all ride up inside of the unit itself, of the rail itself, where the other one right down outside we'll see. Here are the hose reel offering for both with the 4,000 hose reel and a Series 5,000 hose reel. And you can see that we offer them in 4, 5, and 6 inch. And the other thing I may make note of is that you will not be able to utilize more than 5 hose trolleys on a Technorail. You'll have to jump to another section independently with the Technorail, where if you use the ALU 150 or 250, we can do quite a few more. We can basically double it. Here are the trolleys that work with either the 150 or the 250. Like the Technorail, we have trolleys that are utilize either a balancer, or you can attach it again to the nozzle, or you can attach it to the hose, and you can open and close the damper that is up inside of the unit itself. You can see the one there on top. All right, the one on the bottom, we call the maxi trolley, and that goes up to 8 inches. We can actually make units larger than 8 inches, but that has to be special. It'll take some time. We have built them up as high as 16 inches, but normally we are doubling up the ALU 250, making it into either 400 or 500. But you'll find that that can be used on locomotives. Again, here's a couple more trolleys utilizing the damper with the maxi trolley. And here is a hose reel on ALU 150. Also, as I said, a few arm on either the 150 or the 250 we have a special trolley that has a swivel underneath, mounts very simply, very quickly, and functions very well. This is the NORFI manufactured heavy-duty balancer that complements the balancer that Minoxidant presently has. These particular balancers were specifically built for vehicle automotive use or heavy-duty vehicle use, as we've increased some of the capacity on the newer line. Where most of the competitors stop at 33 pounds, we're going all the way up to a 65-pound lift. Some of the accessories, the balancer bracket, the heavy-duty bracket, standard bracket. You'll also notice the NORFI hose holder, which is kind of a unique thing. You can use it in place of the elbow, and the nice thing about this, you don't have to cut the hose twice and still have it too short. This will slide up and down. It is composite. It has a heavy, dense foam insert that wraps around the hose without marring it or poking holes in it. And as I said, you can move this up and down any length of the hose you want. So you have the ability to keep your standard length of hose without having to cut it. And then that goes up to 6-inch. The one on the bottom will go up to 10 inches in diameter. Now we're going to go into the nozzles, and the one you see on top is actually a safety disconnect. If you see that unit on the very top, that is actually that hose holder, and that attaches onto the hose, which with a wire that attaches to the clamp. And if the vehicle should ever fall without unattaching the clamp, the top portion will grab onto the hose and it will release the nozzle, so you're not pulling the entire system out of the ceiling. So you're able to save everything and the vehicle can pull out. This happens a lot in fleets, school bus garages, some areas where the people are working on it and they just forget to take the nozzle off. The second one is just the oval one for duals, and then the bottom one is basically the same, and that's a high temp unit. Here's some more high temp units. These are made of fiberglass with a debris trap in them. They're mainly used on larger commercial vehicles, work very well. The bottom one is all aluminum for high temp, and that is mainly used in heavy duty, but it is available beside the 6, 7, 8, and 10-inch diameters. The top one is the same thing. It's just got some brass pieces in it, and it has a wooden handle in order to help with the heavy duty or the heavy duty high temp applications. The next ones are regular neoprene nozzles. You can have the clamp on either the right or left. One of the main reasons is because sometimes you can get into vehicles that may have a running board or diamond plate or something else that's in the way, and this way you can get the proper release instead of having someone fight it when it's tight against the vehicle itself. Some more round nozzles. You'll see this particular one at top is actually a nice replacement for those of you that have into the round nozzles with Netterman or Plymouth vent. This would be an exact replacement, except it's a little higher quality clamp. It doesn't use a vice grip. It uses a Destaco, which is a lot better to utilize in clamping, especially without marring the tailpipe. The next two are manual pneumatic nozzles. They have a bladder on the internal side. You pump it up to hold it onto the vehicle, and then there's a little relief valve. You just press it, and it releases. Kind of unique item, work very well in automotive dealerships. Again, here's a few other choices, different size. And then the one on the bottom is an internal nozzle, which mainly is used for vehicles that have the tailpipe stuck inside of the bumper, or sometimes even underneath. You'll find this very well. It may not be the prettiest thing, but it is extremely functional. Some more nozzles. What you see here, if you may be noticing the rubber covers over the top of the clamp, this is mainly to protect. This will use a Bowden cable to do an automatic disconnect. In other words, you can have a straight run a rail. We can put a Bowden cable onto the external part of the hose, and then we can have a lock and roll release at the end of the run. When that unit hits it, it releases this clamp, and the nozzle will fall away from the vehicle. The vehicle can leave the facility. Just the same types of nozzles, just that these are automatic release. And then one on the bottom is a shove-on with a self-closing. It's got material on the inside that's neoprene. We push the rubber lid on, it will clamp down on top of the tailpipe. These are all plug car nozzles, done in a cone shape, utilized for like small engines, motorcycles, all neoprene rubber, 2 and 3 inch, and we do get up to 4 inch on one of the larger ones, mainly for smaller vehicles. Here's some that get a little bit bigger, same concept, just gives you some additional solutions for the applications you may run into. Here's some more. The one that you see on the bottom is proprietary Mercedes. You are able to sell it. No one else has this nozzle. I suggest if you have a Mercedes dealer in your area that you may want to make a call on them. If it isn't out of the way, we are the only company that makes this type of that. We are proprietary suppliers to Mercedes, BMW, and Volkswagen for some specific nozzles. Here's a little, again, a little different nozzle for the side-by-side, and you see 2 more Mercedes units. The third one down is for the Maybach, which actually is no longer made, but this is not very expensive if you're putting it on a $500,000 vehicle. And then the bottom one is just a wall bracket. All right, we're coming into the area of the funnel nozzles, and let me just take a minute here and asking any of you if you got any questions, and if you got any questions, please put them in the chat box. That would help us out tremendously. Okay, all right. Let me back up just a little bit, talk still about with the neoprene nozzles. We don't need to do a slide, but if you look at all of the NORFI nozzles that Minoxidil's put in, if you look at all the Minoxidil nozzles, I will say that we probably have the best and the broadest coverage of nozzles in the entire industry. I don't believe that there's anyone else who is even close in the variety, the quality, and the ability that we have to do additional type of nozzles for virtually every application that there is out there for moving vehicles. And here's a little adjunct to that, is we know especially in fleets, you can run into a lot of different situations. You can run into it in maintenance shops, even in fire departments. you see, all of them will move up and down, so you can get it behind a bumper. If you look at the sugar scoop styles, the second one, that one can go underneath where you get some turn downs, especially on a school bus. You are able to utilize those and move them underneath and then move them back, because your hose reel or your drop will just nicely attach to the back end. A lot of flexibility, a lot of different styles. Here we got, again, the sugar scoop. If you look at the second one, that one actually is adjustable through 180 degrees. So you could even get a nozzle that is sticking out the side, maybe buried back in, maybe underneath. Again, we have a lot of different flexibility. The bottom one is actually a full wet. There's a web type of exhaust pipes. Little different style, utilized on commercial vehicles mainly, but actually can be used on anything at all. Then you'll see there's a double one for dual exhaust, same concept, can be moved up or down, and will pick up either side of the vehicle. Right, here we have a straight drop on top of ALU, actually 250. And you can see it rides very simple. And as I said before, these particular trolleys ride on the outside, where the TechnoRail trolley is up on the inside, although the slides are with the, within the rubber lip seal. And I might make mention here, you're not going to have any leakage in lip seal because you'll be under negative pressure. So even though there is a little opening on each end, as long as the negative pressure is on, there should be no leakage whatsoever. Here is the TechnoRail, and you get a little better idea. If you look at the picture on the right, you'll see where that trolley fits up inside and rides on those little extrusions that are sticking out. And then the unit itself with the stainless steel slides are up through the lip seal, and actually the unit itself is out of the contamination area. We also have available in-ground systems to use in conjunction with the Minoxavent products. And then there's just another shot of the nozzle. All right, let's look at markets. You know, some of you're already in these businesses, but here's another place, other places to look at, to look for possible sales. Agricultural, aerospace, auto production, auto component manufacturing, or the tier 1, 2, and 3 suppliers. They're all ideal places to go after, not just NORFI, but the total Minoxavent package, because we can offer so many things to a facility, all the way from hose reels to fabrication to rail systems. We can cover just about everything. One of the latest things that we're into are breweries, with a special system that the Crawford Company has been building for about a year now. Soft drinks, water facilities, bus garages, the fleets, the heavy-duty trucks, the cars, the buses. You may even want to consider a rental fleet. Vehicles put in the wash racks where they hook the vehicle up, drives through the wash rack and out. You got a safety issue here. You got a health application going on. So it's a good area to look at. Construction vehicles, defense facilities. The government spends money, so we may as well go in and get some of it. Fire and emergency stations. We're not in the fire business, but you can replace some of those systems that are out there with some of our rails, virtually inch to inch. Energy and power generation, vehicle repair garages. Maritime, as I mentioned earlier, locomotive repair. You see a couple applications in the middle on locomotives. The one with the red train and the one, the green and white train. There are a couple systems that we've done. Vehicle inspection centers, tire shops, motor shops. You can get up to about 10 inches. One of the questions came on static pressure. You can just about put 10 inches of static through these rails. We also can utilize duct stiffeners, and we can get a little bit more static. But my rule of thumb is 8 to 10 inches without a problem. This happens to be a locomotive application. This is actually in the United Kingdom that we did 3 years ago. And I'm going to show you a little video. You can get a good idea. Minoxidil is able to do this utilizing a NORFI swivel and some of the NORFI electrics if you'd wanted to do it completely no contact. So we'll show you that right now. They wouldn't let us video the real thing, so we did a cartoon one but this is exactly what it looks like over there. The tolerances will be pretty tight. That's why we have to do some, not so much complex engineering, but we have to do some comprehensive measuring to make sure that we get things right. They usually are close to the same area or within a foot of one another where the stack would be exiting. And this is all doable right here at the plant in Rock Island. That gives you a pretty good idea of what we're able to do and the flexibility and ability that we do have. Here are some additional rail units with straight drops in a truck facility, a school bus, actually not a school bus, that is a commercial bus, which is another place to look at it. There is a train application on the top right. And the next two that you see, those are actually at automotive facilities. Those are not with our no contact system, who no one ever touches. This is the manual automated system. It's the manual part is that someone has to physically attach the nozzle. But other than that, everything is automatic. It releases automatic at the end of the production run. It will recoil itself back up. It returns back to a queued up area ready for the next vehicle. If you run into these, you need to contact us and we can work some type of program. We're one of the very few people that are able to do this. And then on the far right, you see a hose reel on ALU 150 that is completely automated. This moves laterally on the reel itself with an electric motor. It also coils up and it releases down. So it is an entire automatic unit. Again, you see a shot there at the top of car production, a shot of the Technorail, one with the balancer, and these happen to be two truck facilities on the right that just use straight drops. They either wash or doing repairing. As I said, these can be used in wash racks with very little problem. Just to give you another idea of the capability, again, that is a large automotive repair dealership on the top. As you come underneath it, you see the same thing, and then a car production area. And on the top right is you see a bunch of automatic trolleys stacked up, ready to go into car production. As you look at the bottom rows that are cartoonish, that gives you an idea. The one on the top left is actually an automatic shifter that will move a trolley from side to side, from a suction rail to a return rail. The ones on the bottom, that is another shifter that actually goes in 360 degrees. You can utilize that to move a trolley off into a maintenance rail, or you can utilize it to go into another area. The one on the right are automatic shunts. Shunts are normally used to go off into a refinish area or to go into another area. As an example, I've seen these used in commercial bus depots where they have moved a vehicle that's been smashed or damaged on their fiberglass bodies. They have a shunt and they move it over into the body shop area. There's one in Houston that uses that system. And again, here we have we're introducing it again because it is brand new. NORFI does not have a hose reel that goes on Technorail. All of that was completely designed here. And so we offer you a system that you can compete with anybody in that car dealership business. And this just kind of sums things up. We've got a complete line. Besides our source capture equipment, we have all types of vehicle exhaust equipment. And again, if you have any questions, please type them in. If you aren't able to get them into the chat, either give us a call or send them in. And I just really appreciate you being with us today.